Here's what I have gone down a rabbit hole about. No, I didn't have sex, but I did fall down the rabbit hole of pegging. Ladies and theys. I had a very interesting idea of what pegging was, and then I did my research. So pegging
Wait, no. I want to hear what your interesting idea was first. What did you think it was?
I really thought that pegging wasn't specific to heterosexual couples or cisgender couples specifically. I thought that pegging was just about ass play with a toy, no matter who.
Okay.
That's not true. Pegging is defined as women fucking men. Like, pegging is about cis-het couples changing up gender roles, having a moment, having like a very formalized moment. It's not just like, ooh, she put a finger in my butt. It's like, it's way more, I would say, ceremonious. You know, we're talking strap-ons, we're talking harnesses and dildos, we're talking lube, we're talking prostate gland stimulation. Like, it's a whole experience. And I will pull up a very quick fact here. Another misconception about pegging is that it's just anal sex. Like, it's all the way. It's like, put this 8-inch dildo in my butt. That's not true. Only about 72%, overall, about 72% of women have tried going all the way, and about 16.7% have tried pegging. So, meaning that pegging is like, again, is play.
Okay.
It's about the like introduction of not just a finger, not just a mouth, but a toy in a man's ass. And I'm really proud of the couples that, like, I don't know, as somebody who has no interest in pegging at all. Like, I don't have an interest in wearing a strap-on. I know it can be really pleasurable for the wearer as well as the person experiencing it. I just have never.
Oh, I really do think you should try it, though. Only because from my experience of topping, it's
but like
incredible.
As a power bottom, it sort of like goes against everything I stand for as a power bottom. But at the same time, I respect and am like I said, like super proud of all of the couples that have done this, because I do think it takes a very real caliber of conversation because we can be very closed-minded about our crinkle stars. That would be our buttholes.
I will say, I'll jump in for a second only because I have a handful of female friends who are very into pegging.
Okay. Define very into.
Love it. Like, if their partner isn't into it, it's over.
Wow. Okay.
Because, I should rephrase, not a few. I have one who feels that extremely sort of like, if they're not into it, they have something they need to figure out.
Right. That's their kink.
So it is her kink, yes. And I think for her, when I talk to her about it, it's about power. And that's why I was like, you should try it, only because there is such an incredible feeling of not overpowering someone. No. I don't mean to insinuate that, but for someone to submit to you.
So that's the other part of pegging that I find delicious, is that those folks exploring BDSM, pegging is like a really good intro into not just psychologically switching up roles and you know, playing with dominance and submission. It's like, okay, pegging is like the intro into the rest of the BDSM world for a lot of heterosexual couples. And one of the reasons we were talking about this, one of the reasons why pegging is specific to cisgender couples and heterosexual couples specifically, is because, you know, other than that, it's just like playing around with a dildo. Other than that, it's just using a strap-on. Like, if two women are strapping on, that's what that is. It's not pegging.
It's not.
And I want to hammer home, no pun intended again. Just going to be so many innuendos here. You're welcome. I would say I am not interested in dominance because I am as a result of, this is just personal to me, because I am such a dominant person in life. I mean, I used to describe myself as a lazy lover. Like, I like to lie down and just let like, please don't ask me to do a whole bunch of acrobatics. I'll be very upset.
If you want acrobatics, you can call me, okay?
Exactly, 100%. I would like to lie down and enjoy. I just want to lie down and open up and enjoy. That's it. And I enjoy when you enjoy, so I will do my job. Right. I used to date this guy who would like, oh my God. I used to date this guy who would literally have me in the, it was like power vinyasa flow situation. And I just was like, I go to yoga. That's not what this is for me. And he'd be like, can you just like squat and then put your hands here? And then I was just like, sir, Like, I didn't know I had to lift in order to have sex with you. And as a result, I look at pegging and I go, wow, that's cool, but I have literally no interest.
Well, let's pull back a bit.
I will
let's
eat
zoom
your
out.
ass, but I don't feel like putting a dildo in it. If you don't eat ass, you should.
We should talk about that. Let's talk about ass. Let's talk
Okay.
about ass
Yes,
play in
no,
general. Because I think
absolutely.
that pegging
I
is
think
a
this is huge.
systemic result of the culture shifting.
Pegging is rebellion.
Right. So where are we standing in the hetero space? And of course, you don't speak for everyone, but in your experience and in your conversations, because in my conversations, ass play is still not, it hasn't come to the masses of the straights.
No.
The friends that I know who are in that space, who are playing in that world, swear by it, frankly. That it's like a necessary ingredient in having a really good time.
And I would say, I don't know, I just think if you're going to, this is a complete personal belief, obviously, but like, I just think if you're going to have sex, no matter your preference, no matter your gender expression or identity, like if you're going to have sex, no hole should be off limits. That's just how I feel, unless
it's off limits,
right? And I think that unfortunately, I think not knowing your body, I think gender roles, I think homophobia, I think all of it has played into the cis het man being like, no, my butt is not for sex. That's not, it's just for poop. Like I do feel it for those men because I think
they were taught that.
The Lord put nerves there. The Lord put glands there and experiences there that are extraordinarily pleasurable, and you want to avoid them because somebody told you that, quote unquote, that's gay. Like that's.
But I really do want to circle back to the idea of like, for a lot of men, I think, and for myself, when I was starting to have sex with other men and with other people that I know, submitting is hard. And I will say,
you think it's about submission.
And also I will say that like anal sex is hard. Like it's not as easy.
No, as it takes practice.
As vaginal sex. It takes work.
Like vaginal sex is not easy.
No, but by comparison.
Yeah.
No, sex shouldn't be
easy.
So I think there are many things at play, but I do think submission, and I think men submitting in that way is very vulnerable. And I think the idea of vulnerability being introduced into the sexual space is new for a lot of people.
I mean, I do think that's why things like pogging, I think that's why pegging does deserve aftercare.
I mean, it deserves forecare, during care, after care.
Well, that's the other thing that I was reading. A lot of people think that you should prep yourself, right? Like you should rehearse putting on that strap on. You should like talk about like the acts of your sex act. Like the act 1 is foreplay. Act 2 is, you get into it a little bit. You do some missionary, you do some doggy, you whatever, and then act 3 is pegging, and like you need a costume change. You need a warm up. Don't do like. This is Team Lube. This show, we are pro lube. We are pro ho. If you're not lubing, we did have a conversation in the green room. I do not understand why folks are making flavored lube. Please stop. If you hear me and you're a manufacturer of lubricant, please stop making things like toffee buttercream lube. It's disgusting.
That example's not
now, or like lemon balm lube. Stop it. Just light a candle and it'll achieve the same effect.